My name is Jay Boyd. I am Lauren Boyd's husband, and I wanted to take just a couple minutes and talk about why I am a fan of Beachbody as a business and why I support my wife coaching as a Beachbody coach. I should start by saying that I was somewhat of a skeptic at first when the idea was brought up from her about wanting to become a Beachbody coach. The products and what Beachbody sells and stands for was never a hurdle for me to overcome. I mean, I was convinced from the beginning. I did P90X 5 years ago. I saw great results with that. I've heard wonderful things about insanity. And when Lauren was doing, before she became a coach earlier this year, she had, right before Christmas, done 21-day fix, and we were eating really healthy during that time. And she was a part of a challenge group and was doing the video as she's supposed to do it, and she saw excellent results. And just seeing the physical change, that sold me. I've been sold on that. So the idea of her becoming a coach, though, I was a little bit kind of weary of that, simply because anytime you have to sign up for stuff or legitimize, make something formal, I'm a little bit, well, tell me what that involves. And my familiarity with other multi-level marketing model businesses where there's a hefty upfront fee and initial investment you have to pay, and it seems like in a lot of other companies there's a lot of people at the top making all the money and everyone else is just kind of struggling and it burns out after a couple months. And it just kind of seems like more of a scam than an actual business. And that is the furthest thing from the truth with Beachbody. When I found out that there's really no initial investment, there's no risk in becoming a coach, you really can just save money on your shakes each month. So it really just makes sense to become a coach if you plan to drink the shakes. So once I found out that there was really nothing for us to lose financially, I said, hey, go for it. I'll support you if it's something you want to do. Go for it. And honestly, I don't think at the time, if I'm being honest too, I really didn't think that this would become the journey that it has become for her. I kind of thought, if it works out, cool, but if not, that's no big deal. And I just didn't know what it would turn into, because I think I didn't see it as a real. I didn't see her coaching as a real business, if I'm totally honest up front. And I wouldn't have shared that with her at the time, but if I'm being honest, I just kind of thought, well, it's just something to keep her busy and she'll be happy. And hey, if she's happy, then I'm happy. When I saw her watching webinars and when I see her get on the computer with these, weekly meetings and talking with other ladies and reading these books. I mean, she ordered all these books that her team has her reading. And I don't know if that's how all the teams do it, but the team she's on, this is a business. And I found out very quickly after a couple weeks. I was like, man, this is real. This is not just a joke. And I started to hear stories about some of the other women and how they're like, that's their full-time job. They're supporting, they're doing very well. And I think that, I began to really come around. And after a couple weeks, when the paychecks, the weekly, she started getting paid and our bank account was seeing a little bit, reaping some of the fruits of that, I really started to turn the corner on that. But also, the reason I'm a fan is because of some of the changes that I've seen in Lauren as a person. She's blessed to stay at home and be a full-time stay-at-home mother, and that's a wonderful thing. But it also can be challenging when you've got two young children, and if you don't feel like you have something else to really gravitate to. I can see how that would be a challenge. It only takes me being at home with both of the kids for a few hours to realize the value that I place on a full-time stay-at-home mom and the need to have another outlet, so you don't have a mental breakdown. And so this seems like it came at the perfect time. And she really she excels at it. She's good at it. And so watching someone you love do what they really look like they were made to be doing is pretty cool. Another thing that I'll say is I've watched Lauren get more done in a day, even with the added responsibility of being a coach. And that was something at first I kind of wondered how that would play out. If she would be giving a lot of time to this, then surely she wouldn't be able to do all of the other stuff that she does as a full-time mother and maintaining our household. surely she probably would be able to do that as well. And that's actually not been the case. She's actually done it just as well, and in some ways better, because of the added organization. These personal development books, again, I don't know if it's just the books or the engaging with other women throughout the day and having intellectual conversation with adults, maybe a little bit of everything, but whatever it is, it's allowed her to, she's now got a planner and a schedule, and this was kind of a point of contention in our marriage over the last few years. At times I would encourage her. I thought, maybe you should get a planner, maybe you should get a calendar, a schedule, and now she's got one, and so that solved that, and she's on top of stuff, and she's getting more done, again, with even added responsibility. And I'll end with the financial freedom piece of this. Since she's been a coach, we are starting to see the added benefits of her making money. And in 3 days, we leave for a vacation, and we're very blessed to have a place to go for a week that's pretty much free of charge. That's a huge blessing, but there's still the costs of traveling. There's gas, there's food, there's things that you want to be able to do on vacation, that like added luxury type things that you end up spending money on. And normally we would have had to have maybe shifted money around or pull a little bit out of savings, or have to really be strategic in the couple months preceding this, and how are we going to pay for this. And it would have been something we would have had to really think through. And what she gets paid this week on Thursday, when she gets paid, is going to pay for that and all of it. We're not going to have to worry about any of the other stuff. The financial freedom is great. And two, last night, I'll say this, speaking of stewardship, we were getting to have a conversation last night talking about how we get to give more, either to charity or to a mission organization, or maybe to my work. We're not sure. We're praying about, how will we give the extra money that God is allowing us to have at this point? How will we give that? Will we do it all at the end of the year? Should we start doing it now to different places? Should we, how should we, be good stewards of this? And just the fact that we're able to have that conversation and pray about that and give more, is pretty cool, again, to think, because that's something that's obviously important for what we believe as Christians. So I would encourage anyone who's considering becoming a coach to do it. You really don't have anything to lose. You only have everything to gain, and you might surprise yourself. You might actually be really good at it. As I've watched my wife doing this, I have seen a side of her that I did not know was there, and just seeing her excited and passionate is really cool to watch. And so you never know, you might surprise yourself. Thanks for watching.